Yeah, imagine being upset about making fun of a crippled man while Trump made fun of John McCain from POW. I mean, Trump made fun of a person with a disability as well. Remember the reporter? Remember he was doing this motions with his hands that were clearly mocking a reporter, yet Jasmine Crockett, when she made her Hot Wheels comment. Now, I can't look into the soul of Jasmine Crockett. I can't look into her soul. I mean, I could because she has one, as opposed to Trump and people in administration who are completely soulless. That being said, I can't look into her soul and know whether or not she really meant to call him the Hot Wheels governor because of all of the deportations that he did or whatever, or if she just, was being mean about him being a hypocrite but by having a disability yet fighting against like things like DEI, because the equity in DEI includes things like making sure like that things are ADA compliant and other things that might not have to do with the ADA but still help people have equity and give them the abilities to do the jobs. But again, conservatives don't understand what DEI means, even when they say out they're against diversity, equity, inclusion, like Trump did during his Pettysburg address. But again, I can't say what was in her heart. I can't say if that was her original intent or not. What I will say is I don't give a rat's ass as to what her original intent is when it comes to that, because I don't want to hear a damn peep out of any Trump supporter, out of any MAGA person who refused to go after Donald Trump, who refused to say that Donald Trump was mocking a reporter, clearly when the reporter has a condition that where his hands do the thing that Trump was doing in a mocking way. And they refuse to suggest that he could have done something wrong. He mocks other people without disabilities by doing that too. Like that makes it any better, because doing those things with your hands is something that people would often do to mock persons with disabilities. So it doesn't matter if he also made fun of persons without disabilities doing that, because it's still mocking disabilities doing that. But they didn't want to hear it. They didn't want to admit that their Messiah was somehow flawed in any way. And so they just made excuses for him instead of saying, you know what, that was wrong. So if they were unwilling to call Donald Trump out for his mocking of somebody with a disability, then I'm not going to sit here and take them with any bit of seriousness when it comes to them criticizing Representative Crockett for her comments about Governor Abbott. They have no moral high ground to stand from. In fact, they're coming from the immoral low ground. That's where they're coming from. And I'm not going to sit here and worry about Crockett with that, or Crockett, insulting, Elon Musk, because as Bondi now says that she wants to go after Jasmine Crockett for, saying mean things about Musk. Oh no, boo-hoo. That's another thing I don't want to hear anything about when it comes to conservatives. I don't want to hear anything about the people who are firebombing Teslas. I don't want to hear anything about them whatsoever if you did something like call the people who were there on January 6th tourists. If the people who attacked cops were just tourists. If the people who broke things were just tourists. If the people who bashed down barricades, assaulted cops with their own weapons, or did the various other violent things that they did on January 6th were just tourists, then guess what? So were the people they were just window shopping. They were just looking at the Teslas. They didn't do anything wrong. They were just looking at the Teslas, trying to figure out whether or not they were a good deal. And I guess when they got caught on fire, they was like, you know what? I'm not going to buy a vehicle that spontaneously combusts, so let me just, look at something else. Do I justify the destruction of do I destroy do I say that we should be destroying other people's property? No. But again, I'm not going to sit here and bemoan the people doing that when it's the conservatives complaining about that being a simp for Musk, when they refused to, say the people who were terrorists and insurrectionists on January 6th, they refused to say that. So you know what? F you on that as well. I don't want to hear it. I'm tired of hearing it. I'm tired of the hypocrisy. I understand that hypocrisy is a conservative prerequisite, but they like to flip around the whataboutisms all the time. Well, guess what? I think it's some time that we shove the whataboutisms back in their face. What about, all these people fired up in Texas? What about the people on J6? All these people are, Jasmine Crockett said mean things about Governor Abbott. Oh, what about the when Trump mocked the disabled person? What about when Trump mocked McCain for being a prisoner of war? All that stuff. I don't give a rat's ass about all that they're complaining about if they're not going to take responsibility and criticize their own. Period. End of story. Does that mean that I won't criticize our own when I feel that they've done wrong? Sure, I will, and I've done so on the show many a times. But I'm not going to sit here. I'm not going to sit here, and I'm not going to just give in to them bitching and moaning and complaining about us when they won't do it about themselves. What do you think? Do you think Jasmine Crockett should be criticized, or do you agree with me that we're not going to be playing the conservative games when, if the roles were reversed, they would be whining and bitching and moaning, complaining as well when it came to our people, but when it's their people, they'd be making excuses and whataboutisms and deflecting to the other people. So if you agree with me, leave your comments down below. If you disagree with me for whatever reason, leave your comments down below as well. Remember to like the video, share, subscribe to the channel, and of course, unless you're a Nazi, have a good day.